So in a couple weeks, Anthem is coming out. But in the meantime,
there's some shit we need to speak about.
What's going on, my boys? How we doing today? My name is Orphid, and today I'm going to be talking about Anthem, and I'm going to be addressing some concerns I have with the game. Let me start off by saying I like this game. I do enjoy what I was able to play over the 2 weekends, one being the VIP demo, the second one being the open demo that just closed. So I believe there's something there. It's just a matter of execution, and I am afraid that it won't be done right. But as I said, I played the VIP demo, and that was an experience, to say the least. It was I was very interested in the game, so I stuck it out, dealt with all the problems just so I could see what the game had to offer. But I could understand how if you weren't as enthusiastic as I was, or some other people, that would have been a really bad experience for you. So, oh man, that was not a good showcase of this game. The open demo was a lot better. Some problems that, existed in the VIP demo, they definitely were still there in the open demo, but a lot of them were fixed. My biggest concern comes with the actual, title of the product. It's a demo. A lot of people were confused. They were saying that this was a beta. This demo is weeks old. The build is old. Guys, this is a demo. A demo, short for demonstration. This is supposed to be indicative of the product they are trying to sell you for $60. So to have a lot of these issues be there, no matter how old the build is, it's definitely worrying. Because you have to worry about if they sorted any of these issues out by the full game. You have to worry about what issues will still be there in the full game. And you have to worry about how they will go about tackling the issues, when they're discovered. So the demos here were telling, and it actually, it sparks some worry. All games have their problems and such, but some are bigger than others. And with these type of games, these live service, looter shooter games that kind of demand lots of hours from you, that's very important to your gameplay experience. So let's get in and let's start talking about some of the biggest stuff right away. The bugs. Oh my. The bugs in this game. Okay, so I got a list. Let's read them off, shall we? In one specific session, as soon as I loaded into free play, I was playing the Storm Javelin, and my character was missing his head. I shit you not.
What? What the fuck?
I was like, I guess BioWare decided I don't get to play the Storm Javelin. I'll be playing the Headless Horseman instead. So that was one of them that had me just like, yo, what the fuck is going on, bro? Another one, a huge one that plagued both of these demos, was enemies just flat out disappearing, right? It could be flying around, you see enemies, you go down, you engage them, you start shooting at them, you throw abilities at them, whatever, and poof, fucking magic trick. They just disappear. No matter how much damage you did to them, no matter if they were aggroed, if they were shooting you back, enemies would just disappear. Sometimes they would just reappear right in front of you. And that type of shit is extremely immersion breaking. Like, you're trying to play the game, you're trying to enjoy it, and the enemies just decide, yeah, nope, I'm a nope out of this shit. It's crazy. One of the biggest problem that plagued the first VIP demo, and that probably left a very bad taste in people's mouths, was the infinite loading screens. So for the majority of the actual demo's play period, you couldn't actually play the game. You were stuck in infinite loading screens. No matter if you tried to load a mission, a free play, the Tyrant Mine stronghold that was in the game, infinite load. The only way to get into these games was to hard close the program. So if you're on PC, you had the task manager out. If you're on console, you had to, close the app, and you had to go back to the main menu, and the game would ask you, hey, you were in an activity before this. Would you like to resume? Of course I would fucking like to resume. So you had to pick that option and then, cross your fingers and get lucky, hope that it puts you in the actual activity. That was the most frustrating part of the VIP demo by far. They fixed it for the open demo, which I was very glad for. but it's very scary because you never know when these type of things will pop up again with updates. You know, when the full game is released, you know, if more people get the game than expected, it's a scary time, man. Another problem, random boots. So you'd be playing, you know, everything's going smooth, no lag. You actually load it into the fucking mission for once, and boom, you just see a black screen, you see a loading screen, and you are now at the main menu. No error messages or anything. You were just straight kicked out of the game. Sometimes it would kick you back to Fort Tarsus, which was the free play mode where you launch the missions from. But again, just extremely immersion breaking, and it made it very tough to stomach through that VIP demo. Connection, absolutely unbelievable in some cases. You were just rubber banding all over the place. You're shooting at enemies, you're seeing damage numbers, their health isn't moving, and then all of a sudden you teleport 2 feet away, like you're from the fucking movie Jumper. Like you're all over the screen, and those problems never actually ironed out. Anytime I was in a game that had the connection be that bad, I actually had to leave the game because it never smoothened out. Again, just like the other two, it was extremely immersion breaking, and man, it was it was such a tough time. I cannot state that enough. Another instance, doors weren't triggering the checkpoints. Me and my roommate, we were playing the Stronghold, and when we got to the final door that would open to allow you to fight the boss, the fucking door just wouldn't open. We tried everything. We were shooting at it, we spammed abilities at it, we tried going further back into the level and then, you know, going at the door again, hoping it would trigger something. Nothing. The door never opened. So guess what? We had to just quit out. All the progress we made up to that point, for nothing. Couldn't fucking fight the boss. Unbelievable, man. There was an ult bug with the Storm. As I said, the Storm Javelin is a javelin of my choice. So there was a bug where when you ulted, the screen from the ult showing you how many more charges you had left would persist even after the ult. So what does that mean? You can't see any of your other UI. You can't see your ammo count. You can't see your ability cooldowns. You can't see health. Checkpoints were very obscured. All you saw was the ult screen, but you weren't ulting. You couldn't tell when you were gonna get another ult, which was the only way to cancel it by ulting again. And it was a really tough time whenever that shit happened. Alongside sound problems, the game would just completely cut sound off. You had nothing. Sometimes you get these random like little motor sounds, but yeah, sound would just completely shit the bed. Just on all the classes, there was an ult bug where as soon as you loaded into like an expedition or something, it would say that you have your ultimate ability, but you couldn't use it. So obviously you don't actually have it, it's a visual bug, but you could never actually tell when you do have it since the icon is always there. And there were so many other bugs. These were the biggest ones, the ones that impacted my experience the most. It was, oh my god, I guess it was not a fun time, man. Well, the game was fun. The actual game was fun. Like I said, I enjoyed what I played. I had a good time when I was actually able to play it. In-game, I have some concerns with that. So in Diablo's in-game, at a core level, it seems basic, right? It seems very repetitive. Why would you want to do these same activities over and over? The real meat of Diablo's in-game is running rifts and greater rifts. The layout changes every time. The enemies do as well, but for the most part, you are just running through a level, killing stuff, looking for drops, right? Sounds boring at a base level, but it works in Diablo because there's essentially infinite difficulty to climb. So when you're going for these specific builds and weapons, you know you're doing so with the promise that you'll get stronger to do the next greater rift level and then the next greater rift level. So that's the loop for these diehard like loot-based fans, right? Like me, I consider myself a big fan of like the loot-based genre. In Anthem, they announced that you're gonna get 3 strongholds when the game comes out, just 3. You're gonna have the open world activities, you're gonna have contracts, you know, legendary contracts, faction quests. But when you play these games, you know, as much as like I said I do when you're hardcore, how long until you exhaust that content and there's only like 2 activities to do in game? And you know, how are those going to hold you? You know, that drive for loot. If you get the loot you're desiring, there are 6 difficulties, but say you get to the point where you can do GM3, you know, what do you do from that point? And I know it's a live service game, we're going to touch on that later, but I struggle to see how there's going to be a palpable end game, and I'm hoping they can prove me wrong. Another concern I have is damage balancing. So when I played the VIP demo and the open demo over the course of the two, I was able to play all 4 javelins, and I 100% believe the Storm was the strongest by far. Now, there are masterwork abilities and legendary abilities in this game that will alter gameplay and give you these crazy bonuses and effects that pretty much amp you up to be able to go do the next difficulty and to really be able to consistently tackle that hard content. But my worry is, I'm a solo player. When you're playing in, these groups with randoms, or if you're playing by yourself, I feel like there won't be enough synergy based on the actual classes individually to actually be able to tackle this stuff unless you have a pre-made that knows what they're doing. And I get that's supposed to be the purpose, but having like one class stand out so much to where it's like, if you don't have this class in your group, you pretty much can't do GM2 and up. I feel like that's going to be an issue in this game because the Storm is very, very strong. Combos are going to be absolutely essential when you start tackling the harder difficulties. So if you don't have proper coordination, a lot of the javelins can feel fairly useless if you're playing them, inoptimally, or if you're playing them optimally, but you don't have that, teamwork that is usually lacking in a solo queue setting where you just match with random. So I don't know how they're gonna fix that, provided it's a problem. Maybe with the introduction of new items, some retuning of the difficulty modifiers. I have no idea, but I'm hoping that's one of the things that they can hit on the mark, because for these type of games, you need that stuff to work. Absolutely. The open world, it was all right. A lot of people's issue was that it felt barren. There wasn't a lot to do, and I can understand that for the demo because there was only 3 key points in the demo's open world that you could explore. Outside of that, it was just the open world, nothing really happening. You'll find, a patch of enemies here and there when they weren't fucking disappearing on you. But other than that, it was just the 3 points, which once you've done those, it got old really fast. Now, I will say, on the actual map, when you opened it up and expanded it out, there was a lot more. So in the full game, when it's actually open to you, I feel like this won't be as much of an issue as it was in the demo. And I feel like as far as content, that might be one of the game's saving graces. But again, just like the other stuff, I can't be able to tell right now. And it's going to be a matter of, how can BioWare keep up the content when it starts to run dry? Because longevity is vital to this game. It is the crutch of this game. They have to be able to release constant updates that give you content in the form of the open world events, new missions, contracts, strongholds, weapons, items, all of that stuff, right? And they have 2 options I see how they can actually implement this, either through gigantic content updates that introduce things like whole new javelins, weapons, a new stronghold, new legendary contracts, all in one big update, or they can drip feed the content. So, every couple weeks you get a couple new contracts to tackle, or you get, a new modified version of an existing stronghold, or a new stronghold entirely. And they're going to have to get that loop right to be able to retain, the gamers. And I've seen games fall to this, man. Destiny, I played that game when it came out. Very fun game, but once the well ran dry, it was fucking dry. So, and it doesn't really give you an incentive to, jump on the game because there's nothing to do. So this game, in order for it to, stay afloat, they're going to need to find that balance. And, how often do we release content? When we do release it, what are we releasing? They're going to have their work cut out for them. If you would follow any of these developers on Twitter, it seems as if they have this down. They have an idea of how they want to treat the games post-release. I'm hoping that they actually do, because if they don't, it's not going to look good for this game. So in closing, I am still excited about Anthem. After what I played, the gameplay is very fun. This game captures a very unique gameplay feeling that I have not got from any game so far, and that is flying. The flying in this game is absolutely wonderful. At any point, you can just jump and initiate flight. You can fly to your heart's content. Now, there is an overheat mechanic to where you cannot fly infinitely, but there are conditionals. When you fly near water, your gauge either just completely does not move, what it seems like to me, or it moves at an unbelievably slow pace. and that allows you to fly, at an extended rate. Also, if you fly under waterfalls, that'll completely cool your jets and just completely reset the meter. So that's a way to just completely keep you in the action and keep you flying, which, like I said, is one of the funnest parts of this game. The gunplay felt pretty solid. There was some weapons that really stood out to me, like the Devastator sniper rifle. It's an explosive sniper rifle. Like, you charge up the shot, and when it's ready, you release it, and it's this massive AoE that does hella damage. So the weapon is extremely versatile. You can use it on trash mobs for like a quick, 4 to 5 kills, or you could just use it on, the big tough enemies to just DPS them down. It was my favorite weapon by far. Every loadout I took that weapon, and like an assault rifle usually, or an LMG, it was fucking awesome. Like I said, after I played all the javelins, Storm still remains my favorite. He seems like he is the crowd favorite. I'm afraid they might nerf him because he was really, really strong. I really don't think they should take that approach. I think they should just find a way to buff the other javelins, get them up to snuff so that the team play is going to be better as a result, provided that's the fix, because you never fix anything by just nerfing everyone. Then the game isn't fun to play, and it's a bad time. So yes, I am still excited for this game. I am cautious after what I played. I'm kind of getting deja vu, and I'm seeing, what could potentially happen. So if it does, at least I'm not super surprised. But BioWare, you hold all the cards. It's up to you. If this game is something special and it shuts up the doubters, or if you prove them right and you and EA go down once again, because this is your A team that you guys took away from Mass Effect Andromeda. So you kind of need to prove why you guys were taken away and put on this project. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you played the Anthem VIP demo or the open demo, if you haven't played it, what do you think of the game? Are you picking it up in a couple weeks? Are you gonna stay away from it? Let me know. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time, and you have a good one.